Two Chairs No Waiting, episode number 671, 10 Things to Know About the Andy Griffith Show. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you by the folks over at Weaver's Department Store, just in Mayberry Man playing cards. That's right, it's 54 different photos on the face of the cards. The back all have the poster from the Mayberry Man movie. It's a great set of playing cards. If you enjoy them, they're nice quality. All different Mayberry folks, you'll enjoy getting to see that. So head over to Weaver's Department Store and check it out. And while you're there, hey, it's getting close to baseball season. Maybe you want a Mayberry pennant to hang up on your wall. Head over to weaversdepartmentstore.com and check it out. Two Chairs No Waiting is also brought to you by donations from listeners just like you. The executive producer of episode number 671 is Randy and Jennifer Vinson. Thank you, Randy and Jennifer, and thank you for being here in Mayberry with me. We're going to be talking about 10 things to know about the Andy Griffith Show, and I didn't know it rhymed until I had to say it out loud. And I think it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time playing with that and just running through those as we can. And we're also going to be playing a little bit of trivia, and then we're going to have a very special report. Now, this is a brand new installment here on Two Chairs No Waiting, a new roving reporter that we're going to have, and he's calling his segment Returning to Mayberry. It's by Spirit Walker. That's right. So Spirit Walker is going to be doing a segment. Randy Turner, as you may have heard last week, is taking a little sabbatical. So he and Spirit Walker are coordinating with one another about who's doing it what week. And I just run the show. I have no idea what they're doing. But I think you're really going to enjoy it. So that's what you got to look forward to. So let's go ahead and get this show started. I'm going to play us a little bit of music to get it going. There we go. So we're going to talk about 10 things to know about the Andy Griffith Show. Yeah, this ought to be fun. All right. So 10 things to know about the Andy Griffith Show. Number one. The star's name is Griffith. Andy Griffith Show, not Griffin. It's Andy Griffith Show, not Griffin. So that's the first thing. If you say, I'm a big fan of the Andy Griffin Show, well, it makes me question it. Oh, after I finish this list, by the way, I came up with a few more things. So we may have another 10 things later. All right, so that's number one. So remember, the name of the show is the Andy Griffith Show, not Griffin. It's not Merv Griffin. It's Andy Griffith. All right, number two. Beatrice Taylor's name is B. It's spelled B-E-E, not B-E-A. Okay, this is something as a fan of the show always bothers me and makes me, anytime I see it spelled wrong, I'm going, oh, they don't really know how to spell it. Her name is Beatrice. I can understand why you would think her name was spelled B-E-A, her nickname, right? But it's not. It's spelled B-E-E. And people argue with me all the time about that. And I'm like, friends, if the name Jim comes from James, like if your name's James and people call you Jim, or if your name's William and they call you Bill, are you telling me you couldn't spell B-E-E? Is that really what you want to say? No, of course you can. Plus, there's a lot of evidence on the show where that actually occurred, where you can actually see Aunt B's name spelled out, and she spelled it B-E-E. So that's number two thing you should know if you're a fan of the Andy Griffith Show, okay? All right, number three. Barney Fife, he has three middle names. During the show, Barney had three different middle names, right? So in some episodes, he was called Milton. In some, he was called Bernard P. Fife, and Bernard Oliver Fife. So it was Oliver. So Milton P. Oliver. There was one of my friends, his nickname on the Andy Griffith Show websites and stuff was Milton P. Oliver. And I always really loved that, that inside little joke. But that's it. So that was some kind of a continuity error, or perhaps it was a multiverse thing. I don't know. There's different Spider-Man out there now in the Spider-Man worlds. So maybe there are 3 Barneys out there somewhere. Maybe that's what it is. So that was number 3. Number 4, Mayberry is not a place, it's a state of mind. It's a goal to live up to where folks are kind to and care about one another. That's what Mayberry really is, right? I know we all want to say it's just an old TV show. It's a TV show and all that stuff. And that's true. It is a TV show. But it lives inside of us. Those of us that are big fans of the show, I know this is corny, but it does. The people there, we know they're not real, but boy, they could be. It is so realistic. Growing up in a small town like I did, I knew people like that. So Mayberry's not a place, it's a state of mind. Kind of goes back to the episode I did a little bit about the Mayberry spirit. This is it. It's a goal to live up to where folks are kind to and care about one another. So that's what Mayberry is, at least to me. That's the best definition I could come up with anyway. All right, so there you go. So number 5 is Otis. He had a vice. He had a hobby, drinking. He had a vice, but he was also valued and loved. So even though Otis had all kinds of issues because he drank and, people of Mayberry, the people in that town, they still cared about him, and they tried hard to help him and to make his life as good as possible and help him get over his vice. They tried. So he had a vice, but he was also valued and loved. That kind of goes back to the last number 4 as well. It's how people should care for and about one another, right? So yeah, Otis had a vice. And they probably wouldn't show that today on TV. But I think by not showing it, you also don't show the people being kind and considerate toward him. So you're missing out just a little bit. All right, number 6. Number 6, things to know about the Andy Griffith Show. There are 249 episodes plus the pilot episode of the Andy Griffith Show. Don't miss out on 90 episodes just because they're color. There's 250 if you count the pilot, but 90 of them are color. Man, I know some folks don't like the color. We talked about this not long ago either, as well, I should say. But that's 90 episodes of Mayberry that you're missing out on. There's got to be some good stuff in that 90 things there. 90 of them. 90. So go out there and take a chance and just watch them. Turn the color off on your TV. Maybe that'll help you. All right, number 7. We're almost done with our list. Almost done. Number 7. You read any book you want on the subject of child discipline, and you'll find that every one of them is in favor of bud nipping. That's something you need to know from the Andy Griffith Show. Bud nipping. Boy, we could use a lot of that in today's world, I do believe. Bud nipping. You read any book you want on the subject of child discipline, and you'll find that every one of them is in favor of bud nipping. And I am too. I think we should nip a lot of things in the bud that are not getting nipped. So you can choose what you think those things might be, but there's a lot that I could make a list of that I won't share here on the podcast. But don't you think the world might be a little better if people would maybe nip their own buds, maybe, and not tell us everything they think? Just hold it back. Try to be nice to each other. Wouldn't that be nice? Man, that'd be so good. All right, that's number 7. Number 8, giraffes are selfish. Always looking out for number 1. Boy, giraffes are selfish. So that's just something to keep in mind, and this has turned out to be true because over the years, while I've been doing this podcast, there have been news articles where giraffes, I'm not laughing because giraffes, this is unkind of me, but giraffes have literally been struck by lightning. So they're always walking around, their heads up in the air, looking out for number one. Boy, giraffes are selfish. But it's really happened. So, while we laugh about it on the Andy Griffith Show, those little dogs, they're low to the ground. They're not going to get struck by lightning. Now, I think it's a giraffe, because lightning hits tall things. And it's the truth. That is the truth from the Andy Griffith Show, because I know for a fact there's been several newspaper articles over the years I've been doing this podcast alone when giraffes really did get struck by lightning. I'm not saying they're necessarily selfish, but they do walk around with their heads way up in the air. All right, so number nine, 10 things you need to know from the Andy Griffith Show. There's one subject you just can't talk enough about. Sin. Yep. There you go. There's one subject you just can't talk enough about: sin. As a matter of fact, if you try to talk about it, you'll probably get banned from social media. Depending on which one it is. So that's one subject you just can't talk enough about because you'll get stopped. And it's sin. And we learned that one from the Andy Griffith Show as well. Oh man, Barney is just full of wisdom. He was so far ahead of his time. Now, if you're listening to this or watching the video version and you've not heard some of these words of wisdom that we're giving to you, wow, you're way ahead. Watch the Andy Griffith Show episodes and you'll get to hear these. So here's our last one, the 10 things you need to know about the Andy Griffith Show. Like I said, I think I've got a whole nother list of these that I'm going to be able to put together. But here's number 10. Number 10, don't wear Barney's hat. He can't stand to wear a hat after it's been on someone else's head. And his mother was the same way. So don't wear my hat, Andy. Don't wear my hat. Yeah. Can't stand to wear a hat after it's been on someone else's head. Yeah, my mother's the same way. Oh, I'm just laughing because I'm picturing Barney and his mother walking around with their hat pulled down over their ears. What? Don't talk about. Barney said not talk about his mother. Okay, so there are 10 things you need to know that you found out on the Andy Griffith Show. All right, guys. So that's my list of things. I hope you enjoyed those. Those are just fun. I hope you liked them. I thought they were fun. I was coming up with a list, and like I said, I came up with several others, and I've already started writing them down. If you have a list of things that you think people have needed to know from the Andy Griffith Show, send me your list. That would be fun. I'll be able to put those together. So you can email it to me at floyd@imayberry.com, and I'd love to see it. I'd love to see that. So send it on to me. All right, so it is time now to play some trivia. Y'all ready for that? Yeah, so let's get our trivia music going. There we are from the VW boys. A little bit of Mayberry trivia. Get your pencil out. Here's the question. Number 1. Miss Crump was Opie's teacher in the 5th and 6th grades. I had the same teacher in the 5th and 6th grades too. Let's see, 5th? Nope. No, I had the same teacher in the 3rd and 6th grade and the 4th and 5th grade. 2 different teachers. All right, Miss Crump was Opie's teacher in the 5th and 6th grade. My 3rd grade teacher was my 6th grade teacher, and my 4th and 5th grade teacher was the same lady. Different lady. Miss Sizemore was the 2nd, and Miss Land was the 3rd and 6th. All right, the answer to that, Miss Crump was Opie's teacher in the 5th and 6th grade. That is true. That is very true. So Opie, I'm just like Opie. No wonder I like this show. All right. Who appeared on Colonel Tim's Talent Time TV show? Who appeared on Colonel Tim's Talent Time TV show? Who appeared? Who appeared on Colonel Tim's Talent Time TV show? The answer is Howard Sprague.
What about Floyd? How soon they forget.
All right, number 3. Who said, thought about killing him, kind of hated to go that far? I had to catch myself. Who said, thought about killing him, kind of hated to go that far? You know how hard it is to read these and not try to talk like the person that's the question's about? All right, that's not a trivia question. That's just great. Who said, thought about killing him, kind of hated to go that far? I'm going to read it with the voice this time. Who said, thought about killing him, kind of hated to go that far? It was Mr. Darling. That's right. Mr. Darling. Briscoe. All right, number 4. Who sang Eatin' Goober Peas? Oh. Who sang Eating Goober Peas? Who on the show did we hear sing Eating Goober Peas? Okay, this is a little hard and maybe a trick. Because here's the multiple choice. I'll give you the multiple choice on this. Was it the Darlings? Was it Ernest T? Was it Nobody? Or was it Jim Lindsay? Who sang Eatin' Goober Peas? The answer is, from that list, the Darlings, Ernest T, Nobody, or Jim Lindsay. Nobody sang it. Ernest T said, want to hear me sing Eatin' Goober's Peas? No, Ernest T, that's fine. Ernest T didn't sing it. He asked if she wanted to hear him sing it. Oh, it's a trick question. Oh, that was a good one. All right, number 5. This one's true or false. You got a better chance. True or false? Barney wished for a fingerprint set. Barney wished for a fingerprint set. True or false? Barney wished for a fingerprint set. The answer is, that's true. That is true. Barney did. He wished for a fingerprint. I wish for a new fingerprint set.
See, and I hope you get it too.
That was Floyd's line. All right. Anyway. All right. Number 6. Who said, Gomer, get down there with them spiders and start working? Who said, Gomer, get down there with them spiders and start working? Who said it? Who said it? Who said, Gomer, get down there with them spiders and start working? Oh. So here comes the answer. Who said, Gomer? I can't do it. Gomer, get down there with them spiders and start working. I can't do it. It was Barney. I can't talk like Barney. It was Barney himself that said that. Barney. All right, this is a little hard one. Here's the next one's a little hard. You may probably know it. What was Mrs. Lesch's first name? What was Mrs. Lesch? What was her first name? A little bit harder. What was Mrs. Lesch's first name? Oh, the answer is, it was Myrt. It was Myrt. M-Y-R-T, Myrt. Myrt was her first name. All right, here we go. Who asked Mayberians, what's your hurry? Who asked Mayberians, what's your hurry? This is a little hard too. This could be several people if you don't know the answer. This is number 8, by the way. Who asked Mayberians, what's your hurry? The answer is, what's your hurry? It was Reverend Breen. Reverend Breen. Reverend Breen. What is it? So two more. I'll give you two more. Let me see what we got here. I'll look at these questions, give you a good one. All right, this is a good one. True or false question. Opie wished for an A in arithmetic. True or false? Opie wished for an A in arithmetic. True or false? Dun, 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 dun. Opie wished for an A in arithmetic. Opie wished for an A in arithmetic. True or false? The answer is false. Barney thought he wished for that. You said, I didn't say anything, Barney. You stopped me. You said you knew what I was wanting for. Because he thought he wished for that, right? An A in arithmetic. Wait a minute. Is that false? Barney, he wished for an A in arithmetic. Because he got an A. He got a good grade. What did he get? A B? That's a good question. I don't remember. What did he get? Jim Sherrill's in our chat room. He'll tell me. What grade did Opie wish for? That's what I asked. That's what I should ask. All right. Now, number 10 is a B, according to Mike. All right. Here's a last question. Who bought a magic lamp at the auction? Who bought a magic lamp at an auction? Who bought it? Who bought a magic lamp at an auction? B was the answer, by the way. It's Opie wished for a B in arithmetic. Thank you, people in the chat room, for giving me the answer. Jim Sherrill, Andy Holly, Mike, Kentucky Mike, all you guys, thank you. All right, who bought a magic lamp at the auction? The answer is it was Barney. It was Barney that bought the lamp. Barney bought Aladdin's magic lamp. Count is Vantalecki. All right, so hey, speaking of that, these playing cards that I told you about from Weavers, these Mayberry playing cards, you could use these to count. Oh yeah, if you get two to like, the count grants you one wish. Oh, yeah, he must be crazy about children. Yeah. Anyway, so these cards, they're pretty cool. All right, so let's see. Now it is time, folks, for a brand new segment. I hope you did good on the trivia. These cards are sitting in front of me, so that made me distracted when I started looking down at them. They're playing cards. It's hard not to want to play with them. We have a very special segment for you tonight. It's our brand new roving reporter, and he's got a great idea for a segment. It's called Returning to Mayberry, and he's going to explain it to you. So I'm going to pass this along to him as we go here. It is great to have Spirit Walker here with us for his very first segment here on the Andy Griffith Show. He's even got his own theme music that he actually sings and everything.
Won't you turn on the Andy Griffith Show? Forget all your cares and woes. Sit back, relax, and laugh with friendly folks you know. Take up your fishing pole.
Welcome to Returning to Mayberry with special correspondent Spirit Walker from the Andy Griffith Show Esquire Club.
Thanks, Randy. Excellent magazine, by the way. Can't wait until the next issue comes out. Hello, Mayberry Spirit Watchers. Welcome to the Esquire Club. I'm sure a lot of you have heard the term 6 degrees of separation. That is a term that means that every single person in the world can be connected to every other person in the world in no more than 6 steps or degrees. Well, I have my own theory. And my theory is this. I call it everything returns to Mayberry. Here's what I mean. If you take any person, place, or thing inside of Mayberry, you take it outside of Mayberry and connect it to something else, connect that to something else, connect that to something else, eventually one thing will return to Mayberry. I'll go further than that. I believe that that one thing that returns to Mayberry can then be connected to something else inside of Mayberry. That thing taken out of Mayberry and connected to something else, connect to something else, and eventually, within 6 degrees, return to Mayberry in a different direction. Furthermore, I believe that this returning to Mayberry continues ad infinitum. That is, again and again and again, forever, making a continuous circle in and out of Mayberry. And I am prepared to defend my theory. With this returning to Mayberry segment, I will prove my theory. So let's begin with Season 1 of The Andy Griffith Show. In the 19th episode of Season 1, Mayberry on Record, Mr. Maxwell, a record producer from New York, travels to Mayberry to record a country folk album with some of the local musicians. Andy obliges by gathering some local bluegrass players to play with him for Mr. Maxwell in Floyd's barbershop. The bluegrass players Andy Griffith gathered for the show were actually an established group called the Country Boys. They consisted of 3 brothers, mandolin player Roland White, guitar player Clarence White, and upright bass player Eric White, along with banjo player Billy Ray Latham and dobro player Leroy Mcnee, who were the only ones in the group to have a speaking part. The Country Boys would later change their name to the Kentucky Colonels, and eventually they would be inducted into the Bluegrass Hall of Fame. But I digress. The Country Boys appeared in 2 episodes of The Andy Griffith Show, the other one being the 29th episode of Season 1, Quiet Sam. Roland White was the only member of the group not to appear in Quiet Sam because on the day of filming, he was being inducted into the United States Army. Clarence White would later be instrumental in establishing the guitar as a solo instrument in the bluegrass genre, and still later become a member of the popular folk rock group, the Byrds. Leroy Mcnee would become known as Leroy Mac and help establish the Born Again Bluegrass Band. Later, he would tour as Leroy Mac in Gloryland. Now in his 80s, he is still playing music, as is Roland White. In late 1961, after appearing in the Quiet Sam episode, Eric White married and left the group. His replacement was Roger Bush, a 21-year-old California native who had played bluegrass with the Green Mountain Boys. In 1969, Roger Bush was asked to join another band with Billy Ray Latham. That band was called Doug Dillard and the Expedition. For those of you watching the video, and why wouldn't you, that's Billy Ray sporting the mutton chops. Doug Dillard is in the middle and Roger Bush on the end. The Expedition was made up of Doug Dillard on banjo, Byron Berline on fiddle, Roger Bush on bass, and Billy Ray Latham also on banjo. Now you may have heard of Doug Dillard when he was with his previous band, the Dillards. Banjo-playing Doug, along with his guitar-playing brother Rodney, mandolin player Dean Webb, and bass player Mitch Jane formed the Dillards, and they quickly became bluegrass legends. The Dillards were among the first of the bluegrass groups to electrify their instruments, and they pioneered a new style of bluegrass that was referred to as newgrass. Oh, and they were also inducted into the Bluegrass Hall of Fame. But on March 18, 1963, the Dillards became the Darlings. In the 25th episode of Season 3, the Darlings are coming. They would play the bluegrass-loving family in 6 episodes. And so the circle is unbroken. From Mayberry to the Country Boys, to Doug Dillard, to the Dillards, and back to Mayberry as the Darlings. So there you have it. From bluegrass to newgrass. Everything returns to Mayberry. And hey, if you have something you'd like me to connect to outside of Mayberry, drop me a line at the Andy Griffith Show Esquire Club and I'll see what I can do. Until next time, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Oh, and keep spreading that Mayberry spirit. Because it's so fine to spend some time with all these dear old friends of mine. Have a bottle of pop. Come on, let's watch the Andy Griffith Show.
I can't do it.
That's okay, Floyd. Take it away.
All right. So that's Returning to Mayberry. Now, that's for Spirit Walker. I want to thank him. And Floyd, wow, he can't whistle. Floyd can whistle. What's wrong? His lips must have been dry. But you can check out Spirit Walker. He runs a Facebook group. It's a private group. The Andy Griffith Show Esquire Club is the name of the group. And you can head over there and check it out. And you can find out everything he's doing and just all the fun he's having over there. So head over there to it's the Andy Griffith Show Esquire Club. There's another Esquire Club. It's just the Esquire Club on Facebook. But it's the Andy Griffith Show Esquire Club. And it's a private group with about 1,600 members right now. So thank you, Spirit Walker. That was a great report. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy that. He is, like I said, coordinating with Randy Turner, and they are working around. You might have noticed the introduction had Randy Turner introducing Spirit Walker. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that. That was fun for me to hear the story and to see that connection. There's a show that used to come on, one of the Science Channel or the Learning Channel or Discovery, where they did that, connect things, go back all these years and connect two things between this thing and that thing and how they connected together. And that's kind of what he's doing and connecting everything through the Andy Griffith Show. So thank you, Spirit Walker. I really appreciate that. And thank you guys. I hope you're here. He said, why would you not be watching the video? Because I kind of have a face for radio. And so that might discourage some of the video watchers. But there is a video version of this podcast. If you go to twochairsnowaiting.com, you can watch the video version or listen to the audio version as well. And there's also if you're going to watch the video version, please like and subscribe on YouTube and everything so that you'll get notified. Press the little bell button, all that kind of stuff. And see if that helps. I don't know. I'm trying this out. I've been trying it out for a few weeks now to see if we're getting any more views on our Facebook stuff or getting more people that like the podcast and to hear about it and maybe get it recommended more. So spread the word. Do things like that. Like and subscribe to the podcast because that's pretty easy. If you actually watch the video version, just go ahead and do that. And, just spread the word about the podcast and let's try to spread more Mayberry stuff out all over the place because it's just amazing to me how many years we've been doing this and how few people they don't even know about the Mayberry Man movie. They don't know about these things, and they certainly don't know about this. The 10th annual Mayberry meetup in Mount Airy, North Carolina is going to be on the 15th through the 16th of July. That's really through the 17th really, but it's Friday on the 15th and 16th Saturday nights. And you can head over and sign up for it. There's a link will be in our show notes about signing up for the list. Right now we got about 64 people, somewhere in that range are coming, 64 to 70 people. I can't remember. 32 responded, but several are multiple people, right? So go and the link will take you to be able to fill out the little form that just kind of lets us know who's coming, gets their email address to me. It goes to me. And so that I can reach out to you and give you all the information about the schedule as we get closer to the event. If you're over on Facebook, there is a Facebook event over there, and you can go and find out the same kind of information about it. and see who may be coming, and click on the registration form and everything. So it's right there, easy to do and get signed up. The Mayberry Motor Inn is already full, just so you know. It's already filled up. So go and check it out and sign up. But you don't have to stay at the Motor Inn. You can stay wherever you want. And if you're going to be in the North Alabama area, coming up the Friday, March the 4th, over at the George Lindsay UNA Film Festival in Florence, Alabama, we're going to be having a showing of the Mayberry Man movie. And we're going to have special live music with Baraka Valley, the bluegrass band that's in the Mayberry Man movie. Great folks. Love these guys. They're going to be there performing at 6:30 till 7:30 when the movie starts. And then we'll have a Q&A session at 9 o'clock after the movie. So it should be a lot of fun. We're going to have several of the tribute artists will be there. I think Court Howell, the producer of the movie, he will be there, I believe. And it should be a lot of fun. So if you're in the North Alabama area, head over there and check it out and join us. All right, guys, that is all I have for us tonight. I'd love to hear from you. You can give me a call at 888-684-8415, or you can email me at floyd@imayberry.com. It's always fun for me to hear from you. You hear from me every week. It's nice to hear back. So if you have time, please do that. Head over to twocairsnowaiting.com if you can't remember how to get in touch with me, and you can get all that information there. So, folks, until next time, I hope you have a great Mayberry week, and we'll see you next time right here on Two Chairs. Good night, everybody.